الله وبركاته. الحمد لله نحمده تعالى ونستغفره ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، نصر عبده وأعز جنده وهزم الأحزاب وحده، لا شيء قبله ولا شيء بعده، وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وخليله، بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وكشف الغمة وتركها على المحجة البيضاء ليلها كنهارها لا يزيغ عنها إلا ضال ولا يتنكبها إلا كافر منافق لا خلاق له لا في الدنيا ولا في الآخرة. عباد الله، يقول الله تبارك وتعالى في كتابه العظيم بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم: إن في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل والنهار لآيات لأولي الألباب الذين يذكرون الله قياما وقعودا وعلى جنوبهم ويتفكرون في خلق السماوات والأرض ربنا ما خلقت هذا باطلا سبحانك فقنا عذاب النار. Allah Azza wa Jal meant these great verses of Quran and the creations of the heavens and the earth and the alternation of day and night are indeed signs for people of understanding. Those who remember Allah Azza wa Jal always, standing, sitting, and laying down on their sides, thinking deeply on the creations of the heavens and earth, saying, Our Lord, you have not created this without purpose. Glory to you, exalted you above all, that they associate with you as partners. Give us salvation from the torment of the fire. Allahumma ameen. Dear brothers and sisters, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, once he heard this ayah, وَيْلٌ لِمَنْ قَرَأَهَا وَلَمْ يَتَفَكَّرْ بِهَا. Wail, great, deep valley in the hellfire for whomever read these verses and he didn't intellect and make tadabbur and think deeply in the meaning of these ayat. This hadith is sahih. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, once he said that hadith, just to get our attention for another signs in this great book. Those signs, Allah Azza wa Jal said as a conclusion to many of the verses of this great Quran, whether those verses are talking about faith or worship or politics or social or economy. Too many verses of this great, huge life system, which is the Quran, concluded with these sentences. And these verses, indeed, are great signs for people of understanding. Or, another meaning, for those who are smart. Or, for those who remember. Or, for those who have a live heart. يتفكرون يتدبرون يتذكرون يعقلون. Too many meanings. Allah Azza wa Jal concluded this great book, great verses with these sentences. What does that mean? That means this great book had been revealed to a great, smart, live ummah. Allah Azza wa Jal revealed this book in order to talk to a smart people. Who are the smart people? Those who receive the commands, intellect, understand, and implement. And this is the main purpose by concluding these verses. And these verses are great signs for people of understanding. The main purpose of revealing this book is implementing the commands of this great Quran. For this meaning, one of the disbelievers met with Prophet Muhammad ﷺ in Mecca at the time when Allah Azza wa Jal commanded Prophet Muhammad ﷺ to spread the message of La ilaha illallah. That disbeliever came to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and he said, "Oh Muhammad, for what you are inviting the people to?" Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, "I'm inviting the people to say La ilaha illallah." That disbeliever said, "Oh Muhammad, this word, the Arab and non-Arab will attack you and resist you and fight you because of this word." Strange. He's a disbeliever, but he's a wise person. He knows exactly what it means. If we ask what it means, Abu Sufyan will give us the answer. At the time when Prophet Muhammad ﷺ moved from Al-Madinah to open Mecca with big army, he was surrounding Mecca. Then he sent ﷺ his uncle Al-Abbas to Abu Sufyan. Abu Sufyan didn't convert to the Islam yet. He used to be the leader of Quraysh. Al-Abbas came to him and he said, "Abu Sufyan, it's your last chance. Say it. Sufyan said, "Oh Abbas, I have something in my heart, prevents me to say it." And if we ask Abu Sufyan, why? Why? He would say, saying La ilaha illallah is basically a newborn. Saying La ilaha illallah, submitting all of my desires to Allah's Almighty's desires. I will lose my leadership of Quraysh. I will abandon the social position. I will miss the power. I will lose all of that. And that's what prevents Abu Sufyan to say La ilaha illallah. But Abu Sufyan wondered that Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, without the power of this great book and the power of La ilaha illallah, he will never ever come back with victory. Finally, he said, أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. Dear brothers and sisters, Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam give us the right meaning by reading these verses and think deeply in the commands of Allah Azza wa Jal, by considering the smart one among his ummah. He said alayhi salatu wasalam, الكيس من دان نفسه وعمل لما بعد الموت. Means the smart one among this ummah who accused himself of shortcoming in doing the good deeds, then he starts over to increase the ibadat and ta'at, to increase the worship, and be prepared for the life after death. This is the smart one. So according to the meaning of these verses, the most smart one, the one who has the life heart, is the one who listens, then implement. Listen and implement. So, where are those who have the highest level of degrees of education, or big wealth, or leadership, or they are well famous? Are those mentioned and meant in these verses? No. Allah Azza wa Jal never meant those people. Allah Azza wa Jal is looking to the hearts and is looking to the taqwa. Allah never look at your faces, whether you are beautiful or not, whether you are rich or poor, whether you are long or short. Allah never judges the people like this. In another meaning, Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam said, رب أشعث أغبر ذو طمرين لو أقسم على الله لأبره. There might be a poor person, weak, with all the clothes. If he raises his hand to Allah Azza wa Jal, asking him for anything, Allah will accept his dua right away. Then he mentioned one of his companions among this group. He said, among them, Al-Bara ibn Azib. He is one of the companions. He is poor. He is poor with all clothes. You know, materialistic scale always judge the people according to their maybe wealth, power, leadership, higher education. This is a materialistic scale. Okay? But Allah's scale is totally different, by the way. That weak, poor person, that Sahabi, that companions, at the Battle of Al-Yamama, 1,500 Hafiz of the Quran had been killed. Hundreds of the companions of Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam had been killed. Khalid ibn Walid used to be the leader. He couldn't do anything. With all of his power and smartness. By the way, Khalid ibn Walid, his strategic military plans until nowadays are educated in the Western world. Khalid ibn Walid, he had been never defeated, whether before Islam or after Islam. At that moment, he couldn't do anything. It's a massacre. It's a massacre for the companions. What could he do? He was looking around himself, turning around. He couldn't do anything. He couldn't do anything. Finally, he saw that companion who had been mentioned in the hadith, Al-Bara, the weak, the poor one. Then he ran fast, begging him, "Oh Bara, look what happened to the companions. 1,500 Hafiz of the Quran had been killed. Hundreds of other companions had been killed. Oh Bara, please, raise your hand to Allah. Ask him for victory. Look what happened to us." Then Al-Bara raised his hand to Allah Azza wa Jalla, saying, "Allahumma ansurna alayhim wa tawaffani shahida." Oh Allah, give us the victory and receive me as shaheed. A few moments, Allah revealed the victory, and at the end of the battle, Khalid was checking the shuhada, then he found Al-Bara among the shuhada. The conclusion: if you need, dear brothers and sisters, to judge your brain, how smart you are, it's very easy and simple. Look at the percentage of implementing the commands of the Quran, then you could judge yourself. If you implement from this book 10%, your brain equals 10%. You are smart just 10%. You implement from the commands of Allah Azza wa Jal 50%, you are smart 50%. And so forth. Where's the money? Where's the wealth? Where are the degrees? Where are the leaderships? Where are those who are consider them as leaders? Allah never judged the people like this. For this reason, Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu wa ardah, used to meet with the children in the streets while he was Amir al-Mu'mineen, the Khalifa, begging those children to pray for him, to make dua for him. Umar ibn al-Khattab was begging those children to make dua for him. The companion said, "Oh Amir al-Mu'mineen, you are Amir al-Mu'mineen. You're begging those children to make you dua? How come?" He said, "Listen, be silent. You don't know how many sins are enrolling. You don't know how is our ma'asi and sins and sayyi'at. Those children, they have never enrolled any kind of sins. They are pure, clean. And they are eligible for the acceptance of their dua. But me, I'm a doubt. I doubt it. That's why I'm asking them for the dua." So, dear brothers, you don't know who among us is eligible to be accepted by Allah Azza wa Jalla. That's why don't insult any Muslim. Poor, rich, child, old man, weak, strong. Don't put the materialistic scale as your judgment. Don't. Whoever look at this way, might Allah Azza wa Jalla put him down. If you insult someone, one day someone will insult you. Why? Because Allah Azza wa Jalla judge the people according to the taqwa, according to implementing the commands of Allah Azza wa Jalla. That's why Allah Azza wa Jal in advance condemned the kuffar's answer while they in the hellfire, and He mentioned that answer in Surah Al-Mulk when He give us their says. He said, Subhanahu wa ta'ala, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, the kuffar will say, وقالوا لو كنا نسمع أو نعقل ما كنا في أصحاب السعير. The kuffar will say, while they in the hellfire at the day of the judgment, if we used to have ears to listen or brain to think, we will never be from the people of the hellfire. Didn't they have ears to listen or brain to think? They did have these tools. But what the benefit of these tools if they don't lead their owners to the right path of Allah Azza wa Jal, to the guidance path? What's the benefit? If you advise someone telling him, this is haq, this is batil, this is right, this is wrong, this is huda, this is dalal, you advise him first time, second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time, he didn't respond. What will you say to him? Are you stupid? Don't you listen? Don't you think? Why? Because you are expecting from that person to listen and implement, to listen and respond. And this is why Allah Azza wa Jal created these ears, brains, eyes, in order to look at this great book and implement the commands of Allah Azza wa Jal. Dear brothers and sisters, we have to look at our Quran in totally different way. Can you please come forward and give more space to the brothers who are standing behind? Jazakumullah khair. Dear brothers and sisters, reading the Quran is part of being smart, by the way. The Quran is sharpening our memories, sharpening our faith, sharpening our emotions once we receive the fear of Allah. If we look at this Quran in understanding and look deep understanding in the meaning of this book. Reciting this book looks like reading another book. Too many people maybe read the Quran once a year in Ramadan. And even Ramadan, they might look just, I need to complete the whole book. I am short, I'm behind. I need to complete that Quran. Too many verses, I didn't complete it. This is our concern reading the Quran. And this is a problem, by the way. This is a problem. Why we don't look at this Quran by looking deep? Every single sentence is ibadah. Every single letter is 10 hasanat. Every single phrase is a great wisdom. We have to think and we have to implement. Uthman ibn Affan said, radiyallahu anhu, we received this great book 5 verses after 5. The first 5 we used to memorize, intellect, implement, and moved to the second 5, and so forth until we finished the whole Quran. What was the result, dear brothers and sisters? Imagine. What was the result for those who are implementing every single ayah after single ayah in their daily life? The result became that everyone among those companions became a moving live Quran. Moving Quran. Every companion became a moving Quran in all of his behaviors. What was the result? The result was they became great examples, not only for Muslims. They became great examples even for non-Muslims. Those who hate Islam, once they said this deen had been opened by the force of the sword, and this is big mistake. Big mistake. Maybe 25%. This deen spread 25% with power.
By power, by force. And once we say by force or power, Allah Azza wa Jal never command His companions in the Quran, go to those who doesn't believe in this deen, carry your sword. If anyone doesn't say La ilaha illallah, cut his head. Allah never said that. Allah said, La ikraha fid-deen. Allah means, don't force anyone to choose this deen, because we don't need hypocrites in our deen. We don't need hypocrites. We need everyone to elect this deen and get more satisfaction once he converts to this deen. The reason for those non-Muslims at the past, they convert to this deen because they saw the great examples of the great behaviors, nice behaviors of the companions, of the Tabi'een, of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, then they converted to the Islam. Very simple. 75% among the disbelievers, they converted to this deen in a peaceful way, according to the great examples of the great behaviors of the companions and the Prophet ﷺ. Even nowadays, we live in a country, wallahi, if we have all the great practical, nice behaviors of this great Quran, wallahi, Fox News will announce their bankruptcy between. Will announce their bankruptcy. I know a brother in Chicago. He lived among Christian community, all of them white American, by the way. And once he moved to that area, he's the only Muslim in that area. And they was looking at him like alien. He came from the moon. His daughter, his daughters, and his wife, all of them, they are wearing a hijab. 1 year, no one told them hi or bye or how are you. No any kind of smiles. For 1 year, until one day the mailman made a mistake. And he put an envelope inside his mailbox. And that mailbox closed right beside another mailbox for their neighbors, the front neighbors. And if they need to check their mailbox, they have to press the steel in front of their neighbors to get their mail. His son went to the mail, then he checked the envelopes, and he returned back to his dad. He opened one of those envelopes. He found a check of $40,000. Then the child made fun of his dad, and he said, "Oh, Dad, please don't make a check and fatwa. The law in this country, whatever inside your mailbox is yours. And this is risk, Allah sent it to you. $40,000. He said, this is the law of this country. How about the law of Allah? How about the law of Allah? He said, Dad, I know we'll find the fatwa. I know, I'm just kidding. Then he took the envelope, knocking the door of their neighbor. Once, one of their sons, he's a man, opened the door, and he got feared, he got scared. How come this Muslim stand in front of their house? He said, can I help you with this scary situation? Can I help you? He said, no. But can you tell me your dad's name? He said, why? He said, no, the mailman made a mistake and he put an envelope inside our mailbox. So I just need to verify if it's yours or not. Then he said his dad's name. That Muslim looked at the envelope and he found that mail belongs to those guys. Then he gave him, sorry, we opened by mistake. We thought it's ours, but it's not ours. After we checked the name. This is a check of $40,000, and according to our religion, we have to protect the rights of our neighbors and be aware of their security and their money and their rights, because everything is haram if it's not us. So here is your money back. That man was shocked. And he told his mom and dad, his mom was waiting next day, looking from the window, watching for that Muslim's wife to come close to the mailbox. Once the Muslim lady get closer to their mailbox, that Christian lady opened the door, and she opened her arms, saying, "Honey, how are you? I missed you. I love you a lot." After 1 year. Where is the Fox News now? Fox News is just building war. The Muslim is taking care of the life of $40,000. In this way, it's enough to throw in their hearts and their brains too many of the question marks. It's more than enough. It's more than enough for you. Just throw question marks by these behaviors. Finally, they will ask, they will search, they will look, they will check, they will never ever listen to these false news. Finally, if they ask Allah for guidance, you never know. And I was laughing once, 2 young boys have been asked by one of the reporters in the news, "Who did you make you Muslims?" And the answer was, "We are thankful to George W. Bush. He is the one who made us Muslims." So, dear brothers, we have to intellect our book, intellect the commands of Allah Azza wa Jal, in order to gain a great ajr for the akhirah. لأن يهدين الله بك امرئا خير لك من الدنيا وما فيها. If Allah Azza wa Jal give you the power to be a reason of guidance for one of those disbelievers, it's even better than you the whole life and the whole money and the whole gold in all long of your life. Do we wonder that? May Allah make all of us among those who intellect the Quran and get the message and implement the commands of Allah Azza wa Jalla. Allahumma ameen. أقول قولي هذا ويفوز المستقبل استغفر الله ادعوه وأنتم موقنون بالإجابة. Dear brothers, come closer please. Make more space to your brothers. Jazakumullah khair. Dear brothers and sisters, we come in this blessing day for a great noble cause. That noble cause related to our children who are injured in Palestine, in Syria, in Iraq, and other sick children as well. Through our organization, Peace of Fearless Health, we offer those critical cases among children medical surgeries within U.S. hospitals for free of charge, alhamdulillah. So if you're talking about a surgery that costs $250,000 or $8 million, some of the cases, $8 million, one of the cases, transplant of 2 kidneys and follow-up treatment for 5 years, and the cost $8 million, it's totally free of charge. Please try just to accommodate them by covering the expenses of airplane tickets, accommodation, visa charges, and that's all. Basically, in a simple way, hospitals are telling us, just bring them, and we'll take care of the most hard part. The word just bring them costs every single child with his mother to stay 2 months, $7,000. Airfare tickets, visa charges, and accommodation. And we're talking about very critical cases. Those cases require a very advanced medical technology in order to do their surgeries. Peace is licensed under 501c3 exemption. So it's a humanitarian field, and supporting those kids nowadays is fun. And whoever wants to help, inshallah, you will get the ajr of Hasan, the ajr of the faridah, the ajr of fard bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And be aware of that, dear brothers and sisters. Wallahi, even non-Muslim doctors who did surgeries, they donated their cost. You're talking about 30,000, some of them 50,000, some of them 60,000. They are non-Muslims. It's a pure humanitarian noble cause. So we need your support. We need your help. Besides that, peace have shipped too many shipments and containers of medical supplies, equipment to the needy hospitals in Gaza, Palestine, the mobile clinic in the refugees camp of Syrian families in Jordan. So we are urging you to help and support. And be aware that Allah Azza wa Jal will ask every one of us, you look into the tragedy. What did you do? Yes, you have rights toward yourself, toward your family, toward your community, but also you have rights toward the whole Muslim Ummah. What did you do? Are we ready for the answer? Now, we have to be smart. We have to be prepared for the answer, to give as much as we can, telling Allah Azza wa Jal, oh Allah, that's all we can do. Please accept it from us and give us excuses if we don't do it in the right way. Allahumma ameen. Dear brothers and sisters, نسأل الله عز وجل لنا ولكم الثبات على الإيمان. اللهم آمين. اللهم اغفر لنا وارحمنا وارفع مقتك وغضبك عنا ولا تسلط علينا يا مولانا بذنوبنا من لا يخافك ولا يرحمنا. اللهم من أراد بالإسلام والمسلمين خيرا فوفقه لكل خير ومن أراد بالإسلام والمسلمين شرا فخذه أخذ عزيز مقتدر. اللهم انصر الإسلام في كل مكان. اللهم انصر المسلمين فوق كل أرض وتحت كل سماء. اللهم عليك بمن تآمر على أمة محمد. اللهم احصهم عددا واقتلهم بددا ولا تغادر منهم يا جبار السماء والأرض أحدا فإنهم لا يعجزونك يا الله. اللهم لا تجعل لنا في مقامنا هذا أو لأحد من عبادك الموحدين في هذا المقام وفي كل مقام وفوق كل بقاع الدنيا حاجة من حوائج الدنيا والآخرة لك فيها رضا ولنا فيها صلاح إلا أجبتها يا رب العالمين. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم. Before we make the iqamah, brother Muhammad Jahangir Al-Alam passed away in Pakistan, and brother Yahya Sakwesh, mother died also. May Allah shower them with His mercy. May Allah grant them the Firdaus al-A'la, and for the whole Muslim died who passed away, grant them all of them pass al-Firdaus al-A'la, Allahumma ameen, and give us also the salvation from the hellfire, Allahumma ameen.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Straighten the lines. Fill the gap, Jazakumullah khair. Purify your niyyah as of this salah. Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا
فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. ألهاكم التكاثر حتى زرتم المقابر كلا سوف تعلمون ثم كلا سوف تعلمون كلا لو تعلمون علم اليقين لترون الجحيم ثم لترونها عين اليقين ثم لتسألن يومئذ عن النعيم. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Dear beloved brothers, the brochures with a pledge outside. Please don't hesitate to donate and support. You could also log in our website, peace4children.org, and you could donate online. So whatever you can donate, don't miss this noble cause.